So public school or homeschool, which one? I was taught in public school and so was my husband, but we've decided to homeschool. So that's the perspective that we're coming from. I'm Joy and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like this video and please consider subscribing. I do videos about Charlotte Mason homeschooling, family life, and nature study. I am going to share with you what I consider a little bit more relational aspects of the homeschool versus public school question. So let's talk about community. So with public school, you kind of have the community at large on your side. You are going to be going through the flow of holidays off and vacation times and just different community events as within the community. It's almost like you're on a river and you're just going with the flow. When you go with the flow in public school, it also makes it a lot easier to connect with other people, people who are not like you, people who live in your neighborhood. So I've seen some more community-oriented things. That doesn't mean people aren't lonely who are in the public school system, but it does mean that you are regularly around a lot of other people. But for homeschoolers, you get to find your tribe, as they call it, and really cultivate people who are friendships who are like-minded or have similar either family size or a religious background. And so you're separated from that river flowing. In some ways, maybe you're swimming upstream, but at least you can go and find that tribe of people who align with you. And I have to say, I'm finding that it's a lot easier because of the internet to start connecting with other people who are like-minded and can support you in your decision to homeschool. So the next aspect we're going to look at is support systems. So I just see that the public school system has a really good infrastructure for helping families in crisis or with a high need. And that would include single mothers who, for the most part, it's very challenging to homeschool if you are a single mother, but the public school system provides a support system of a routine and an infrastructure that gives those families a greater support, or families who have immigrated here. It helps their child learn the language and, again, just get access to a lot of the government programs for special needs or gifted. So there is a really good infrastructure in place for families with higher levels of need. So on the other side, with homeschooling, since education is really the sole responsibility of the parent anyway, for a homeschooling parent, you get to choose kind of it's almost like you get to choose where you're going to accept help. So that might be hiring a tutor, or that might also be getting your child to be a part of the public schools, just some extracurriculars, and some kids even get some different states allow for students to get help, be it special needs or even their gifted programs. Some will even just go in the afternoons for the humanities type stuff. So as a homeschooling family, you really get the freedom to choose which of these aspects you want to accept help from, or just say, nope, I don't even need that right now. We're just going to focus over here. All right, let's talk about it's just one of the things everybody always talks about with homeschooling, socialization. So whether you see it as a pro or a con, students who are in public school are around other children who are their same age for 13 years. They're always with someone the same developmental level as them. Now, you can see that as a pro because then they're getting to foster relationships and they're getting to have a similar experience, with other kids at the same level. So with homeschoolers, what I would say the pro for them is that they're getting a wider range of ages that they're getting to interact with during the day. So I'm just going to use my 10-year-old as a really good example. So we have neighbors that live across the street. They're in their 60s. They're retired. Actually, they just turned in their 70s, whatever. They are so sweet. And we probably see them 3 or 4 times a week when the weather is good, just throughout the day. Just sometimes we'll see them in the morning when the kids are playing outside on a break, or they'll get to hang out with them before all the other kids are out of school. And the gentleman has been able to teach my kids about just how to work on motorcycles and bikes. And I mean, she's always teaching them different things, how to cast a fishing line. And so that's an aspect of an advantage where my kids are getting to interact with somebody older during the day. But then also we have a baby at home, and my older students are getting to help in the care and love of their baby sister throughout the day. So for example, sometimes our baby will be crying or fussing, and one of the kids will be doing their math homework, and will stop doing their math homework and will go play with the baby for a minute. And I'm like torn. On the one hand, I want you to be doing your math, but on the other hand, it's so sweet that you would stop what you're doing to go care for someone else. And that is a really big advantage of course, having a large family, but also just being home so that you can enjoy those relationships with varying ages throughout the day. Let's talk about academics. With public school, there is a set curriculum that you are going to follow as the student from K to 12, and they may or may not switch it up, while you're on your journey. And this is called actually the conveyor belt method. It's when somebody gets on, they start in kindergarten, and maybe they even start in pre-K4, and they just move along. Whether or not they've mastered that information, they're going to move up to first grade, and then second grade, and then all the way up. So there's kind of a lower standard academically because you have to account for a larger range of abilities. And if people are in high stress situations and they're not going to be able to perform as well academically, if they're ill or if they have a stressful home life, they're not getting enough sleep. So all of those variables are going on with a public school academic life. But then as a homeschooler, we do have the ability to kind of allow the students to go more deeply in a subject such as math, or if they want to pursue an interest such as World War II, they can just go more deeply and enjoy that process of learning over time. Let's talk about free time and public school. So because public school's day needs to align with a typical work day, a student's free time is pretty squashed. And it's also squashed because there's just a lot of time spent standing in line, waiting for your turn, and discipline issues depending on what district you're in. So there's just a lot of time wasted in a student's childhood, whereas when you're homeschooling, the homeschool student has just loads and loads and loads of free time that they are able to explore interests, read books, play outdoors, enjoy friendships, build things, get into trouble, make messes, destroy things. Those are also realities for the homeschooling family. I hope you enjoyed the public school homeschool video today, and I'll see you next time.